Thank you for viewing the San Francisco Planning Department Scoping Meeting presentation for the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency's Potrero Yard Modernization project. The Planning Department is responsible for conducting the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA review, for all projects in San Francisco. This scoping meeting is an early step in the CEQA review process for the proposed SFMTA project. This step notifies the public that the Planning Department is preparing an Environmental Impact Report, or EIR, and that we welcome your comments concerning the project's environmental effects by September 18, 2020. This presentation will briefly describe CEQA, the proposed project, the CEQA schedule for this project, and how you can participate in the CEQA process. The Planning Department leads the CEQA process for projects in compliance with state law or statute, state guidelines, and local requirements. Here, the Planning Department is preparing an Environmental Impact Report, or EIR, for the proposed project. The purpose of CEQA and this project's EIR is to inform decision makers and the public of the project's potential environmental effects, to engage the public in the environmental review process, to disclose potential project impacts on the environment, and to avoid or reduce impacts with alternatives and mitigation measures. The EIR is prepared for the project prior to any final decision regarding whether to approve the project. The EIR, including the associated initial study, will describe the existing environment at the project site and vicinity for each of the topics shown here, such as air quality, noise, wind and shadow, and transportation and circulation. The EIR will then analyze the project's impacts to the existing environment and for cumulative conditions. Cumulative conditions are the environment assuming adoption of this project and other reasonably foreseeable projects in the vicinity. Now, the project. The SFMTA proposes to replace the Potrero Trolley Coach Division facility at 2500 Mariposa Street, Potrero Yard. The rectangular project site is located in the northeastern portion of San Francisco's Mission District, near the South of Market and Potrero Hill neighborhoods. The existing project site includes a trolley bus storage yard and a maintenance and operations building. SFMTA currently operates the site 24 hours per day, 7 days a week, and has a design capacity for 138 trolley buses. Transit service demands for Muni routes operating out of the existing facility require that 158 trolley buses be stored and maintained at the existing facility, with trolley buses parked in circulation aisles and maintenance bays. The trolley buses operate on 6 Muni routes and carry over 102,000 Muni customers each day. The SFMTA proposes to rebuild and expand Potrero Yard to accommodate bus maintenance, operation, and administrative uses within a new structure occupying the full site. The proposed project is part of the SFMTA's 20-year Building Progress program to expand and modernize its facilities to meet growing transportation demands and changing technologies. The new Potrero Yard structure would contain an approximately 75-foot tall, 3-level replacement transit facility for up to 213 buses with a mix of uses as part of a joint development program. The joint development program would include a ground floor commercial use of up to 30,000 square feet and residential lobbies. The majority of residential development would be on the 7th to 13th floors above the transit facility levels. The project is currently proposing up to 575 residential units, with approximately 50% of the units being below market rate. The Notice of Preparation describes the project's characteristics as they would occur if decision makers approve the project. However, as with most large development projects, aspects of the project's conceptual design may change and will become more detailed as a result of the CEQA process, other regulatory requirements, and input from the Planning Department, the community, and other stakeholders. One such other stakeholder is a master developer to redevelop the project site. The SFMTA will select a master developer through a forthcoming selection process. This slide shows conceptual massing of the project along 17th Street. This massing may evolve as part of the developer selection process. For more proposed massing figures, please see the Notice of Preparation. The first step of the EIR process was the issuance of the Notice of Preparation of the EIR and Notice of the Scoping Meeting. We mailed this notice out on August 19, 2020, and are requesting oral and written comments on the scope of the EIR by September 18, 2020. The review period is your opportunity to provide early comments concerning the potential environmental effects of this project. Your comment should focus on significant environmental issues regarding this project, information that would help the environmental analysis, factors to consider in the environmental analysis, or mitigation measures or alternatives to the project that may reduce significant environmental effects. You can also inform us during this period if you want to stay informed of future Planning Department notices about the project. The Planning Department will take your comments during this 30-day period to inform the scope of the draft EIR. Our current schedule anticipates that we will publish the draft EIR, including its initial study, by early 2021. We will distribute a notice of availability of the draft EIR to interested parties. You will have an opportunity to provide input on the draft EIR during a 45-day public comment period, including a public hearing before the Planning Commission. Following the close of the draft EIR comment period, we will respond to comments received and make any updates to the draft EIR to reflect comments and project description changes. We will distribute a responses to comments document to interested parties at least 10 days prior to a Planning Commission hearing on the final EIR. The final EIR will consist of the draft EIR and the response to comments document. We anticipate the Planning Commission will decide whether to certify the final EIR as adequate, accurate, and objective in late 2021. The Planning Commission certification of the EIR means the Planning Department met the requirements for CEQA review. The Planning Commission will separately decide whether to recommend approval or disapproval of the project to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors after the CEQA process is complete and potentially at that same hearing. The Planning Department will replay this presentation at a video and teleconference scoping meeting on September 2, 2020 at 6 p.m. You may attend this meeting using the video conferencing platform Zoom or via phone by calling 888-475-4499 and inserting meeting ID 925-7763-0432. Language services in Spanish will be available at the meeting. To request assistance in additional languages, please contact cpc.potreroyardeir@sfgov.org or call 628-652-7536 at least 72 hours in advance of the meeting to ensure availability. Again, the intent of the scoping meeting is for the Planning Department to hear from you regarding the environmental analysis for this project. You don't have to attend the scoping meeting to provide the Planning Department comments by September 18th. You may also email your comments to cpc.potreroyardeir@sfgov.org, call 628-652-7554, or mail your comments to Laura Lynch, San Francisco Planning Department, 49 South Van Ness Avenue, Suite 1400, San Francisco, California, 94103. For details on how to access the scoping meeting or more details regarding the project or the notice of preparation, please go to sf-planning.org/SFCEQA DOCS. Again, that's sf-planning.org/SFCEQA docs. Thank you and take care.